Hello my friends, I am G Hondo and welcome back to our Let's Play of OpenTTD Season 2. This is episode 39. Crack right in here. In episode 38, we had quite a few new Steam vehicles come up actually, and it kind of annoyed me a little bit. I shouldn't say annoyed, but it was kind of weird because each one of them was a couple months past the previous one, so it would pop up, I'd go in here, check the auto renew settings, great, no problem, you know, get the game going again, and oh, here's another one. Okay, go do the same thing again. Oh, here's another one. Go in, do the same thing again. So it was kind of, I don't know, I'm not going to say aggravating, but it was kind of, no, I am going to say aggravating actually, because that kind of was. But that's okay. That's okay. The other thing, one of the vehicles we did get is a really cute little tram guy, so we were watching that a lot in the last episode, but we'll go and watch something else just because not everybody's into little trams like I am, so we will go back to watching, well, let's go back to watching this route here. This little city here is quite busy, growing at a decent clip, a little bit, not like some of the other ones we have, but it's still growing at a moderate enough clip. But anyway, so we're into 1918 at this point, and we're just waiting for 1926 to get some boats, or 1928 to get some aircraft. So I don't know if we'll get that far this episode, probably not, but we'll get very close though, I think. Unless something strange happens, we should get into the early 20s anyway. So, and then we'll go from there. So. Still can't believe we're still getting new oil refiners coming in, and there still is no oil. Or unless some new oil has been built. You know, it would be easier actually if I just go to an oil refinery. And, oh, that was actually one closing. That actually makes a lot more sense, guys. But anyway. Oh, that's a farm that I clicked on. What am I doing? I wanted an oil refinery. Oh, it's going to be gone by the time I get there. There we go. There's a new one. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Display chain of this. And you can see there are 0 oil rigs or oil wells. But we're up to, we're still holding around the 90 mark on oil refineries, but there's absolutely 0 inbound oil coming into the map anywhere. So there's absolutely, positively no chance that any of those refineries can ever do anything ever. Yet they still keep on building more and more of them. And then, of course, they close because there's nothing for them to do. It's very, very silly. But anyway, mine is not a reason why, only just to keep on playing the game. So that's what we're going to do. So. Anyway, off we roll. At the end of last episode, I got talking about titles for people because I had mentioned I was taking the title of Weird, and I mentioned a bit about how one of my coworkers used to refer to me as a mutant freak, so not to worry, from what I'm told, she always meant it in a loving manner. She didn't actually hate me or really consider me some kind of monster. It was just because I have such incredibly high cold tolerance. But if ever she happens to watch that video, episode, I guess it'll be 38, then she can put in a comment to that effect. So, Kim, you know who you are. I don't know if she'll ever actually watch these videos. She's not the type that's actually into watching these kind of games, but who knows? Maybe at some point she will. Maybe I'll send her a message specifically telling her to watch this one. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on my mood, I guess. But anyway. But I don't get to see any of the people at work these days anymore. I'm actually off on medical leave, so if you're probably wondering why I made a channel specifically devoted to, you know, playing a calm game, keeping calm, you know, I'm mentioning all these things, because I was suffering from anxiety. So I'm currently off on for medical reasons for that, from that job, and that's why I made this channel, as a good way for me to, you know, keep calm and to promote staying calm, because anxiety really, really sucks. But anyway, for anyone who was interested in this, the great story of how this channel came about, that's how it came about. And for those of you who couldn't care less and just want to watch trains, hey, I'm totally okay with that too, because that's something I like to do as well. So it all works out. But anyway. Alright, so we're moving on here. About a third of the quarter or so, yeah, close to a third of the way through 1919. So we're making good progress through the years. That's good stuff. And as I mentioned, I think I mentioned in the last episode, I don't think any of these missions will complete this episode, even though a couple of them look really close just because of the low amount. Although I did increase the amount of mail for liver say, so that one actually has a chance. This livestock one really doesn't have a chance. The production is just far too low at the farm that's producing them. The green, I think, will actually catch up to the livestock in the end, or very close to. So the only one that's even, I think, has even got a shot is this one here, and even then I'm not sure it's going to make it. I think it'll be close though. I think we'll get into the mid-90s by the time we're done this episode, but that's just a guess, and I have been wrong before. I should make that a tagline for myself, because I seem to say it a lot. Anyway. So. Alright, cruising along. We're halfway through 1919. I'm going to check how we're doing on our 2 coal mine earnings for this power plant here. We're down to 81, that's not so good. And over here, down to 63, that's really not good. I think they will finish this, but I'm quite sure at least one, if not both, will be expiring pretty shortly afterwards, which is really not ideal, but anyway. The only reason I even did this one in the first place, as I mentioned at the time, is because we got a pop-up here specifically saying, and I recognize the name as one that was sitting on our mission list. That's the only reason I even set this up. Otherwise, I'm trying to avoid coal, iron, wood, what have you. Oil specifically, definitely, because there's no oil to be had. And so I'm just sticking to passengers, mail, and valuables, because those are infinite, whereas things like coal and wood and all that are finite. These do expire, and I don't like it. Let's go check on liver say, see how our mail is doing. If I can find one of our vehicles. Oh, there they all are. They're all stuck behind this vehicle here, which really needs to go in and get maintained. Badly needs to be in and maintained. Well, at least it is on its way there, so that's good, but it's holding up all the other traffic, so that's not really ideal. Some vehicles can go around other vehicles. Obviously, ones on tracks can't. But some can. In a case like this, it'd be really nice if these were the type that could, but excuse me, that just isn't the case. So they're all stuck until such time as this finally makes it the rest of the way. Of course, now because these have been, you know, stuck behind so long, they're probably all behind on their maintenance too, because it just compounds. Once one of them gets to that point, everything behind it has this exact same problem. But once these all roll in, get fixed up, they should be okay again. Hey, there's that little ding-ding of these things. I do like that. Oh, See, that one there is an actual road vehicle, not a track vehicle, so it was allowed to go around. So, that's nice. Anyway, there should have been some more mail delivery here, so this should update nicely. And things are moving again. Hooray! Yes, that's fine, thank you. Well, it seems to be doing about 2% per trip, like the full, when they do the full round trip. So I think actually this one will finish this episode. Because we're only at about the 10-minute mark or so, so we still got plenty of time. So there is a distinct possibility that we will complete this mission in this video. We'll have to wait and see. I guess it depends if we end up with a lot more vehicles getting stuck and then getting, you know, really far like this. This is terrible, because at any point one of these front ones has a breakdown, then all of them get stuck. So that's really not ideal. But anyway, there's not much we can do about it. So, because even if I built alternate tracks, like sidings or something, they won't use them. So, at least with trains, like actual proper rail trains, you can make sidings because you can put signals on, and then the other vehicles will use them. But the road vehicles, even the streetcars, which kind of are like railroads, they just won't use them, which is unfortunate. But anyway, now what they did do is some of them came in straight down and then to turn around and go back, while some came and turned first, so they're then heading back this way. So they're attempting to solve their own traffic jam. It just isn't going to actually work. Come on, guys, you're embarrassing yourselves. Let's go here. And this one keeps thinking it can get around. Oh, just about. Well, you better get back in your lane. Whew. That could have been bad really fast. But anyway, that's all good. We're having fun. So that's all that matters. Keep an eye on here to see this tick back up. Once we get a few more mail vehicles popping in, that'll be good. I'm still keeping an eye on the ticker down here in case I see one of these names that I recognize, but so far I haven't seen that in a while, and even if I do, I'm not entirely sure it's going to affect us, unless it's a closure type, for like say for one of our mines or something. But that'll really only work for one of the coal mines, because the other one counts as being part of a different city that I do not remember the name of. So it's very possible it will close at some point, and I won't know for a long time until I start seeing the vehicles complaining that they're not profitable. That's the only way I'll know. But, oh well, that's okay. At this point, I'm not really worried about it anymore. The drastic money issue of previous episodes has been solved, so we are good in that case again. Well, we're just about to sing Auld Lang Syne to 1920, and welcome in 1921. There it goes. That's 1921, folks. We are half a decade away from our first boat. And it's really sad that I'm looking forward to it this much, because I really don't like the boats in this game, but at this point, I just want something new. So I'm hoping the nostalgia of having something new will last the 2 years until I can get a plane. Then I'll be okay. Because I really don't like the boats, but I will use them just so we have something different. And we already found a couple places where I would like to put in boats for, obviously this mail mission here is one for a mission. And then as I was touring around the map earlier, I saw a few places I think would do well by boat. So at some point I may plunk some of those in just for fun. Or if I ever do get an actual mission for one of them, then for a mission. But probably we'll end up just doing them for fun. Because I have noticed the busy bee tends to pick the same places most of the time, which is a little unfortunate. But anyway, not much I can do about that. I am not the author of that mod, and I have absolutely no idea how to write my own mods for this game, so even if I had the source code, I don't think I'd be able to fix it. There are some things that I can still do. Many years ago, I did work as a programmer for a while, and I still remember some of it, but it's been a long time, so I'd be hard pressed to write something new at this point. But anyway, so yeah, we're up to 98% on this mail here, and we're only at the 15-16 minute mark, so we'll definitely finish this mission this episode, which is good. I didn't think we were going to finish one. So I'd forgotten originally that I'd added extra vehicles. I originally only had 2 mail trucks coming, and I upped it to 4, so this is good. Otherwise, that probably would have still... Well, we wouldn't have finished it for this episode. It probably would have finished next episode, but... which still would have been okay, but I think I'd rather have it done sooner. I can't imagine any reason why getting something done sooner is worse. So, anyway. That's that. Now that we've thoroughly conquered that. Anyway. Yeah, we're going to see a bunch of messages about vehicles getting old. It still complains about it, but because I do have auto-renew going, when they are actually properly past their age, they will auto-renew. I guess there's nothing that can be done to get rid of that message, because the setting that gets rid of that message would also get rid of the vehicles running at a negative profit, and that's the message I use to know when I need to make an adjustment to a route, either removing a vehicle or completely destroying the route if it's something that's expired or what have you. So I really can't get rid of that message. Well, I mean, I can, but I would really rather not. And so we will see a bunch of the getting old messages now and again, but they can just be ignored because I know I have auto renew on for everything. So it's not really a problem. Alright, so I'm pretty sure the mail has arrived. We're just waiting that to update to prove it. Or it may go to 99 depending on the rounding, but I think it should be done once it updates. Yep, there it goes. So let's see what we get as a new mission and get ready to welcome in 1922. And we've made pretty good progress in terms of time for this episode. Last couple episodes I kind of let run to the 21-22 minute mark just to make sure we got 4 years in. Whereas this episode, we're 4 years in, and it's only been 18 minutes, so I don't know if that means I'm doing something better, or the game's just running a little bit better, or what, but either way, it's all good. And because this is the 4th episode I'm recording today, and as you probably have noticed if you look through the playlists, I do tend to let the 4th episode run usually about half an hour, regardless, even if there's nothing else happening. I just consider that, giving out a little bonus, so... I like to do 4 videos a day at a minimum, so 3 of them that are about 20 minutes long, and then 1 that's about half an hour. That way, you get at least an hour and a half of content every day. And then I'll occasionally do bonus videos, usually Railroad Tycoon 3. I am thinking about recording another game called Aurora, if I can actually figure out how to play it. Just, on my own time, I've been playing it a little bit. I'm about 120 years game time in, and I still really don't think I've actually accomplished anything. I've expanded Earth enough that I've got a colony on the moon and on Mars that are barely functional, but I don't know, it just seems like that's really not a lot of progress for 120 years, so it's a fun little game, but it's very complex, so... And I'm the type that refuses to read instructions. I'd rather just muck with it until I figure it out myself. Apparently that's taken a while, but anyway. So at some point I might do that game on here. I haven't decided yet. Maybe if I get a little bit better at it. I don't I don't necessarily need to, feel like an absolute expert at a game to play it on this channel, but I do want to not be able to embarrass myself, over very simple things. Like, it's one thing in a game like this that I'm pretty good at. If there's some specific feature I don't know how to use, like for example, I'd forgotten how to do the auto renew for a while, that I don't mind, because I clearly am capable of playing the base game, no worries, right? Certain other features, maybe I have to, between episodes, do a little digging and find. I'm fine with that. But a game like that I'm just learning, I'm, like, I'm not even entirely sure I'm doing all the basics, let alone the advanced stuff. So who knows? I don't know. I may end up doing it at some point. But if I record any of it now, I'll have to call the series, that I'm noobing my way through a game or something. you know, watch if you like seeing me embarrass myself. Anyway, the other difficulty with that game is it's got a lot, like, it's all different windows that pop up, but they aren't modal windows. And for those of you who don't know what a modal window is, it's a programming term. But basically, like a window like this, right? You can see when I go to the side of the screen, it vanishes. This window belongs to the greater OpenTTD window, which means I can't do anything to this window outside of it, right? It's popped up, it's part of the game, right? Which means it records just fine in my recording software. But Aurora, a lot of the windows that pop up are completely separate windows. It's almost like, on your desktop, if you say open Excel, and then separately, you open Windows Explorer, and then you open your browser, right? If you look, all three are completely different windows. They have nothing to do with each other. And that makes it very hard to record, because all I can really do is basically just section off an area of my desktop, clear all my icons out of it, and then try and jigger my recording software to just pick up that zone, and then try to make sure I always have the windows in that zone properly. I think I can do it, but it's going to be a little bit messy, and I don't think I can really speak for how much quality we'll get out of the first few videos. But I might do it at some point. Well, I'll probably end up doing I'll have to, and that, now of course I'll have to get rid of my actual background, because I'm pretty sure nobody wants to see the kind of weird stuff I have for my normal backgrounds. What I'll probably have to do then, I'll have to draw my own background, which will be basically just a big empty square, and use that kind of like as a guide zone for... Yeah, I think that'll work. So I actually might just do Aurora at some point, but certainly not today. But I think that is something that's going to happen later, at some point. But anyway, for anyone who does watch this video before I have started playing Aurora, if that's something you do want to see, leave me a comment. If I get actual encouragement towards playing something, that will drastically improve the chances that I'll actually play it. So, as I'm sure I've mentioned before, I do read all comments, positive and negative. I don't mind negative comments as long as there's constructive criticism involved. If you're basically just telling me I'm a jerk, trying to make me cry, well, I'm not going to like that comment. But if you say, certain features not working, or, this is bad, or what have you, that's fine, but then tell me how to improve it. You can say, oh, well, I don't like this specific thing you're doing, but if you did this instead, it would be better. I'd be fine with that comment. No problem at all. And of course, positive comments are always good. I always try and stay humble, but if you do want to tell me that you think I'm awesome, I certainly will not mind. But anyway. But yes, at any point, feel free to leave comments, and you can put them in any video. It doesn't even necessarily have to be in the video you're specifically talking about, because I have it set to message me when there's a comment on any video. Although if you are talking about something specific that happens in a video and you're commenting in a different video, please at least tell me what video you're talking about, so I have some idea of what to go and look at. If you're watching this this episode here, and you start talking about something I did back in episode 20, if you don't tell me you're talking about that, I'll start looking through this video going, well, I don't see what you're talking about. You know what I mean? So, I am only human. I do have severe limitations, so if, I cannot, reading minds is not something I can do. I try, it just doesn't work. But anyway. So we're rocking through the time here. We're only about a year and a half away from boats. And we're at the 25-minute mark, so it's going to be close. I'm hoping if we can get there, if I can maybe set up one boat route for just to cap off this episode, I think that's probably going to be a great place to stop. But I have to wait and see just how quickly we manage to get through. We'll have to get through the last year and a half, so fingers crossed we'll make it. And sorry, I think I may have just made a adjustment to my headset, and it might be affecting the volume of my microphone, so apologies if I just suddenly got louder or quieter. But it was very uncomfortable on my head, so I just moved it a little bit, and that might have moved my microphone too. So my microphone isn't on a separate stand. I have just basically the cable wrapped around my ear being held on by my headphones, so it's not a great setup, but it works for the most part. But it does mean anytime I adjust my headphones to make my ears feel a little bit better, it could move my microphone and I won't notice right away. So again, apologies if the volume changed suddenly just a minute or two ago. It was not intentional. But anyway, we're moving on, we're almost done with 23. We're getting so close. So agonizingly close. I still can't believe I'm so desperate for a type of vehicle I don't even like. But anyway, such is life. Alright, we're into 24. Now the one thing I don't remember, I didn't write down what month it showed up. I just wrote down the year it showed up, so I would assume it will show up, January, February, but it might be later in the year. I just wrote down the years. I should have actually written down the actual months too. That was kind of silly of me, but anyway. And a minute ago I said we were a year and a half away, because apparently I can't do math. We were 2.5 years away, because we were in 23. We are now at the point where we're almost about a year and a half away, so apologies to those who are much better at calendars than I am. Because apparently I can't math. But anyway. Do I still have too many of these? I thought I got rid of all but 2 of them. Or is this just a really long route? I'm just going to close a couple of these for a minute, and I want to see what's happening with this one. Well, it's a fairly long route. Am I not set to... Oh, I'm not set to full load them. That might be the problem. Okay. Alright. Well, let's do all of them at once then. Just to make it easier. So I think it's the same problem I had with that other route, where they're just bunching up too much, and that means they're not necessarily getting enough bags of valuables to actually make any money. I may have to remove a vehicle or two. Like, it's possible I still have too many vehicles doing it, but for now we'll try just setting them to full loads, and then we'll wait until next year and see if they're doing any better. There we go. Okay. Just close that window off. And we'll keep an eye on these. We're crawling because we're auto-saving, sorry. And we're getting awfully close to the 30-minute mark, so I don't think we're going to be getting to boats this episode, sadly. But we are definitely within striking range that we'll be able to do so next episode. So I'm sorry if I got your hopes up. That's not very nice of me, but it was not a deliberate thing. I'm not trying to be mean to anyone. But sometimes it happens by mistake. So I will get us to 1925. That way we are absolutely certain that we're going to get into 1926 in the next episode. There'll be absolutely no possible way we don't. because we're generally about 4 minutes per year, as best I can tell. Unless, of course, I have to pause a lot or something, but we're generally racking through 4 years. Or, excuse me, 4 minutes per year. So I'm just going to let this one episode run just a little bit longer. Actually, you know what? This is the 4th episode. I don't want anyone disappointed. We're going to run until we're going to get a boat. I don't care how long this episode runs. It's the last one of the day. So consider it a bonus. Hopefully nobody exited in rage when I first said I might not make it. I hope you're all still with me. I better put something in the description, I guess, just in case. I hope nobody rage quit. But yes, we're going to make it. Even if it's late 26, I'm going to have a boat doing something, whether it's the mail one here or it's a passenger one, because like I said, I didn't check what they can actually carry. But whatever it is, we're going to have a boat before I end this episode. That is my promise to you. So, there you go. I hope that makes everyone feel better. Those of you who didn't rage quit on about 3 minutes ago. Anyway. Alright, that is 1924 done. We're into 25. Now, because we don't have any current boats, we should not get the 1 year early prototype pop-ups like we do with most of the road vehicles. So we have to wait till it actually officially hits the market in 26. Because as far as I know, you only get prototype pop-ups if you're already using another type of that vehicle. I could be wrong. Again, that's something that happens from time to time, but I think I've played this game enough to have figured that part out at least. So, hopefully I'm not proven wrong. Or actually, I hope I am proven wrong, because that means we'll get to do it a year early, but I don't think I'm going to be wrong in this case. I think we will be waiting until sometime in 26. I really should have checked what month it was, but oh well. Anyway, no matter. It will be sometime in 26, and then we will have it, and it will be glorious. Okay, it won't really be glorious. I really don't like boats, but we'll at least have it, and that will be good. So for the people who do like the boats, that'll be a little moral victory for you. Moral victory or morale victory. Maybe even a little bit of both. Anyway. These are actually doing pretty well up here. Some of these may finish too, which would be good as well. I certainly wouldn't mind. These mines are still going. They're definitely getting weaker and weaker every time I look at them, but they are still going, and it's, you know, within a couple 100 tons now, so they should make it. And meanwhile, the valuables here are set up from Stanberg down to Braunberg. Oh yeah, this city's really growing. See, basically, as long as you're servicing the city in any way, that improves its growth rate. All cities will grow and shrink on their own anyway, but if you're actually servicing them, especially if you get to a point where, you know, you have a good rating, that city will tend to grow faster. But it is still a bit random. Like the city here, theoretically, should be in the exact same state, but it's not growing anywhere near as fast, even though I'm actually technically doing even better. So there is some random factor to it, but generally speaking, if you want to see a city grow, make sure you have at least one route in it being serviced regularly, and that will help. No guarantees, of course, because it's always random, but it helps. So, right, we are but actually close to 2/3 done with 25. Oh, I'm getting antsy. My knees bouncing up and down all on its own. I'm getting antsy. Anyway. Soon, Whitville, soon. I might be able to send a boat full of mail to you. Alright. Into October. You're so close. Again, I don't know what month in 26 it's going to show up, but at some point it is going to show up, and that's going to be glorious. I'm just not sure. I may have to, you know, exit the game and come back in. I'm not sure if these will re-enable on their own or not. just because like when I loaded the game there weren't any boats, so these are grayed out. I don't know if that will fix itself when a boat becomes available, or if I will have to quickly jump out and jump back in, but we shall see. So first we shall simply wait for it to be 26, and then wait for that little message saying that there's a boat. Alright, 25 is away, and welcome to 1926. So this is the big year. At some point this year, our first boat becomes available. I didn't bother looking ahead either to see when, we'll get the first boat, the first plane, and they'll probably be really terrible. I didn't look ahead to see when we get actual decent boats or planes. I was really only interested in when they become available at all. So I have no idea how good or bad the actual vehicle is. I was purely looking to see when it starts to exist. That was all I was interested in. I see a couple of our missions either completed or timed out. We've got a whole bunch of new ones. Stanberg, oh, that's this one, so that one's already in process. Livestock I'm not interested in, and grain I'm not interested in. Okay. Fair enough. Let's make sure this didn't pop in without telling me. No, it didn't. Good. I'm pretty sure I'll get a message for whether it's a pop-up here or one down here, but I'm quite sure the game will tell me that a new class of vehicle is available. If not, then we'll go to December, and if it's still not available, then I'll just save, exit, and come back in, just in case it's the case that the game doesn't know how to handle a new class of vehicle becoming available when it was loaded from a save that didn't have it yet. So, like I say, I'm not sure if that's the case or not. Because normally when I'm playing on my own, I take very random start dates, but there's usually always at least one type of each vehicle already available, because I do tend to take later years. This 1800 starts the earliest I've ever actually played a game, so. And even then it was only because that mod suggested 1800, and that's the only reason I took 1800. But it seemed like a good enough reason to me, so. So I was fine with that. Yeah, this episode's definitely running long, but that's okay. I promised you guys a boat. You're going to get a boat. I'm not going to wait till there's aircraft. We're going to save that for another episode. I'm not dragging the episode that long, guys. Sorry. So for you plane fanatics, you got something to look forward to in the next episode. Because by that point, we're only, a year and a half or 2 years away. Because they were 2 years behind the boats. That I do remember. And then the trains were 1944, if I remember correctly. So it'll be a while before we get to trains, sadly. Which is upsetting to me, specifically because trains are by far my favorite. But anyway. That's okay. Every time I hear the dinging of the vehicles here, it reminds me of the bells you might hear at a shipyard. I think, oh, a boat's available. Oh wait, no, it's not. not yet. So we'll keep rocking on. Like I say, we'll get into December, and if I still haven't seen a pop-up, I'll check it manually, and then if failing that, I'll just save and load. It doesn't usually take that long to load up the game back up, even though it's a big map. It's not too bad. Although I usually do it without recording software going, so that might slow it down a little bit, but it still should be okay. I'm assuming my recording software can handle it, but I guess we'll see. So that could be exciting. Anyway. Alright, so we're into December. And you still show no available boats. Okay. Alright, so I'll let you get tonight to January 1st of 27, and then I'll save and load. See if we can kick it back into action here. Oh, just missed it. There we go. It's just doing an autosave. I'm going to do a proper save so I know where it is. And then you guys can see the crazy number of saves I make. I make a save after every single episode, just in case. So yeah, there's quite a few of them. Okay, so once that's done, we'll quit back to the main menu, and then we'll come back in, and hopefully that will fix it. Right, 27, that's the right one. So fingers crossed, that fixes the boats. No. So where are my boats? Okay. Let me show you why I said 1926. Let me show you what I did earlier a bunch of times. I just came in here, simple, very, very tiny, and I just was playing with the start date. So if I set this to I'll say 1927. This will only take a second to generate because there's nothing happening. Yes, that's fine. Right, if I come in here now, there's boats, which apparently... Oh, 27. I'm sorry, guys. I misread it. No, it does say 26. Okay, either me or the game is losing its mind. But either way, I'm sure you guys can read that better than I can because my eyesight's terrible. But I was sure that said 6. Maybe that's an 8. But either way, I can tell that's definitely a 7. So we're getting the cargo ship this year. Okay. I promise you boats. You're getting boats. I've had it. There is no choice about this matter now. I promised boats, you're getting boats. I don't care how long this episode runs, we will have boats. Get this screen back up for those that are interested. I know for a fact it said 1927 for the cargo ship. I may have misread the passenger ship, but the cargo ship is definitely 27. Now that's just the AI. It fails every once in a while. Not every time, but often when when I reload the game, that pops up a lot. But again, I don't really know how to fix that because I'm not a programmer of these kind of scripts. And even if I was, it wouldn't help anyway because those aren't mine. If I did know how to do it, I could probably write my own, but I don't know how to do that, and I'm not interested in the level of experimentation needed to get one to work. So next season I'll pick different AI anyway, so to keep things changing. Anyway, let us buzz through 27. I start to wonder though, if, it says designed in certain year, but that's not necessarily when it becomes available on the market, but never actually tells you what that date is. So generally speaking, you can only really go by that design date. If it says 1927 is the design date, you kind of expect to see it sometime in 1927, right? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And I will definitely have to put a descriptor, or excuse me, a note in the description that this is an extra long episode. Just like I said, normally on the 4th episode of a day of recording, I'll do generally 30, maybe 35 minutes. We're already we're at 44 minutes now, so, and we clearly have a little ways to go, because once I do get a boat, I still have to set the actual route up, so I foresee this being at least 45 minutes, probably closer to 50, although that again depends on when the actual boat shows up. So, anyway. A passengers one. Oh, that's that same place that wants the mail. Okay, well, again, I'm really hoping to just send a boat down here to Jaburg. And then, ideally, I can get both of them going, but... Oh, what's that? No, I don't want to buy a defunct company. Thank you anyway. That is not the blue pop-up I was hoping for. I was hoping for a blue pop-up saying, hey, we have boats. But apparently, we do not yet have boats. I must admit a great deal of disappointment because I went through all the trouble of, jumping ahead a couple of years to find all these dates, and they're clearly meaningless. Because we're about to end 27 and there's still no sign of the second boat, and I'm 100% sure my eyes were correct when it said 27. So the 6 may look like 8, so I could have got that one wrong, but I'm quite sure that 7 was a 7. I know I'm nearly blind, but not entirely. I've also noticed we've dropped down to 5 frames per second. Sorry about that. A new bus with actual good speed. Yeah, we're going to take that. That's for sure. Fantastic speed and more capacity. I never even noticed that part, but yes, we will absolutely. Do I have any other passenger vehicles? I think the only other passenger one is the streetcar one, and I don't think that will count for it. No, it doesn't count for it. That's fine. But still, that was good at least. Alright, we're now into 28. So all things being equal, I really should have boats by now. In fact, at this point, I should, almost have planes now. Like, it's crazy. I noticed this just became available. We have trains. We have trains. We don't have boats. We don't have planes. We have trains. I really don't know what to tell you. Although this gives me some indication. It could be they take 3 years after design to occur. If that's correct, then next year we're getting a boat. So even though I drastically prefer trains, and believe me, next episode we're going to be using trains, I promised you a boat, I'm going to get you a boat. If I'm correct, sometime in 29 we're going to get boats, the ones that said they were designed in 26. It also means I need to put a note in the description that the note in my previous episode where I said that trains weren't available till 44 was clearly incorrect. I wonder if maybe the lifespan has something to do with when they show up, because maybe they were I don't know. I really don't know how to tell you. And the only other thing I can think of is maybe my list of mods. Like maybe the mods didn't load the same or something, so it's not looking at the same pool of vehicles that our actual game here is. But I haven't changed any of the mods, so it shouldn't have mattered. I really don't know what to tell you, folks. I'm as confused as you are, probably even more confused. So, all I can say is bear with me. I'm trying to get you a boat. I'm trying everything in my power to get you a boat. I really do not understand. Alright, well, I'm going to zoom. I wonder if I should. Looks like there's 2 messages now. It's apparently building a cargo line somewhere. That's nice of it. Or not. But there are at least trains now, so theoretically that AI should be allowed to do something at some point. Anyway. So I got a lot of stuff I have to remember to put in the description on this video, that is for sure. Hopefully I remember it all. I'll probably miss some stuff, but oh well. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. If I miss some stuff in the description, then I guess it's just a pleasant surprise for the viewers. Okay, what I should do, I should pick a spot on the map that's not really doing... Oh. Okay, so you figured it. You're trying to do something. Maybe you have no money left. Well, no, you've got enough. You could take out loans to do it. Interesting. I really don't know. Clearly, these are messages that the person that wrote that AI put up there for itself, so it would know what he was doing while debugging it. I don't know why they weren't removed, but anyway. No matter. So this, I think, is the Bork AI. Yeah, they're the red guys. Using little hopper trucks. So they're doing coal. Okay, that's fine. Not a problem. Alright, well, we're about to get to 29, so that will test my theory. That's a 3-year turnaround from design time to available time. I still want to know why I didn't see that train when I looked in, because I loaded a game at 1920, 1930, 1940, and 1950. And it was the 1950 one that was the only one that showed me a train available. I should have seen one in the 1930 start, because that would have included the 1927 that clearly has them. I really don't know. I have no idea. Strange, strange, strange. But anyway. We're almost at 29. If my theory's right, I'll be able to get you a vote. And if my theory's wrong, I'm going to have to disappoint some people, because we're now very nearly at the hour mark. And that's way, way over. Way, 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 way over. Okay, here we go. We have boats. I can tell because these are no longer grayed out. Meaning, yes. So it's just the passenger one. So I guess the cargo one will be next year, because it was 1 year past. But that's fine. So I can do this passenger ferry. This mail one will have to go, probably have to go away. No problem. I don't really mind. Oops, not that. We want that. Let's get this rolling here, guys. So the further in I can place this, the better coverage I'll have. That's probably the closest I'm getting. And down here, again, the closer I can get, the better. Okay, that's probably these. I think, yeah, this terrain's not very good, so I think that's as close as I'm getting. And that's fine. Now we need a depot that can just go right here, I suppose. To good place as any. Alright. Now I definitely do not want to full load these, because they hold a huge number of passengers. Okay, so this is Jaberg to Whitville passengers. Awesome. Okay. Alright, so its route shall be from here to here. I'm actually going to have it do doubling maintenance. I'll set them to optional, but I'm going to give it double maintenance. Okay. And there we go. And with that, I have fulfilled my promise to you of a boat before episode end. So at this point, folks, I am absolutely going to call this an episode, because we've run way, 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 way over. So thank you for sticking with me this long, and until next time, stay calm, and I hope you'll come and chill with me again in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye now.